Hey guys, this video is about, I guess, surviving high school. Any tips in this video can be taken for any year, not just freshmen, but yeah. I was an incoming freshman last year, and I had a really, really tough year. It was possibly one of the worst years of my life, which sounds pretty dramatic, but it really was one of the worst years of my life, and I haven't lived that long. Freshman year for me was really long and insane. At the same time, though, it was one of the best years of my life because I got to experience so many new things that I never have experienced before. So that was kind of nice too, but I guess I would rather have not gone through all the drama. I was bullied a lot this past year, and it was really, really horrible. For some people, freshman year will be amazing. Others, like me, it won't be. So here, I'm going to give you some tips for your first year of high school. Freshman year, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna cut to the tips. Tip number 1 about being yourself. This first year of high school, you're going to experience a lot of new things that you haven't ever experienced before in your life. Some of those things will be good, some of those things will be bad. Most of it's going to test who you are, though. So freshman year is really important to finding out who you are going to be in your whole life. Because I think high school is really kind of the time of your life when you start developing who you are, your opinions the most, and stuff like that. Especially since you get more freedom than you've ever had this year, because now you're in high school, you know? You're not just a little kid on the playground anymore. You're in the big park. I totally don't even know what that means. We're just gonna forget I said that, okay? Okay. But really, just be yourself and enjoy the whole year, because you never know what's gonna happen, and you don't want to be known for somebody that you're actually not, just because you're pretending to be someone else. And if you just are yourself right away, then that eliminates like a buttload of drama. Tip number 2. Have you ever heard of that song that goes like, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. The circle's round, it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. Well, if you haven't, you just heard it, so whatever. But that's basically the whole next tip, because that's so true. That statement is like, or that song is like so true, because in high school, you're going to get a chance to meet all these new people that you've never known before. But you can't forget your old friends, in case if those new ones don't have your back. Besides the fact that the old friends have been there since the beginning, so why should you let them down? So you really have to stay true to that. Tip number 3. Joining lots of clubs and finding your niche, basically, in high school. Your niche is basically the group that you belong in, which kind of makes it sound like they're full of cliques, but high school is full of cliques, so don't get me wrong. But like your group, where you can always like, that's your group, like the people that you would be identified with, people that have the same interest as you. So like, if you like anime, join the anime club. If you like playing tennis, you should play tennis for your school. Or if you like books, book club. Or if you're a theater person, like me, you should get into theater, because theater is really amazing. I'm not even joking, you will have so much fun in theater. But if you like dancing, try out for the dance team, or if you want to cheer, try out for the cheer team, yada yada yada, all that stuff. And I think really an important part of high school is getting involved, which is why tip number 3 is really important, because you have to get involved in order to be a part of your high school. And make sure, and being involved includes going to plenty of games, which I didn't do my freshman year, which is something I totally regret. So make sure you go to football games and basketball games and yada yada yada, because you will feel much more like you belong once you've been to one. You will know what's going on, and trust me, it's just good. Oh, and don't be afraid to try and go out for a sport team or even to join a club, because I know a lot of this year you're going to be afraid to do these different and new things in your school, because I was really afraid, like no other. So just don't be afraid and just go for it, because the worst thing they can do if you're trying out for a sport, they can say no. I tried out for the dance team and I didn't make it. Sure, I was sad about it for a while, but I kind of moved on, you know? It doesn't matter in the end. I mean, it was a good experience. Tip number 4 is keeping your grades up. Now, I know that doesn't sound very appealing, and you're probably thinking, is she serious right now? Why is she telling me to keep my grades up? You need to keep your grades up. If your grades go down the tube, you can pretty much kiss your college stuff goodbye. Unfortunately. Having good grades is really important, and especially if you're doing a sport or anything, you need to keep your good grades up to even stay in that sport. Besides the fact that your parents will be so proud of you, and you'll probably get something in reward. But really, if you keep your grades up, high school will be 10 times easier for you, and it'll just work a lot better, trust me. Tip number 5, try not to procrastinate. I honestly feel like a hypocrite saying that, because I am the biggest procrastinator of all time. Not procrastinating will make high school so much easier, just like keeping your grades up, which is kind of why those two tips kind of go hand in hand. Procrastinating is something that you really want to avoid at all cost, because you get caught behind all your work, and then you can't take a test because you don't have this assignment done or something like that, and you get work just keeps backpiling, and soon, before you know it, you're over your head and you don't know what to do, and you're going to panic and freak out, and you do not want that to happen to you, because I know people who that did happen to. Luckily, I'm not that much of a procrastinator, and I don't get there because I actually care enough to actually get all my work done as soon as I will let myself. So, as soon as you get home, you should probably just not even head for the computer, just sit down and do your homework and listen to some music, because that's the only way I can do mine, is if I'm listening to music. It's pretty bad. Tip number 6. Finding your way around the school. Some of you might be extremely nervous about this if you're going to a big school like mine is. Mine has about 2,000 students in it. I have to think about that. And my school has 2 floors and then a basement. Basement, or where the freshmen are. Basement or freshman. The top floor, the second floor is for sophomores. That's where I'll be this year. And then third and fourth. There are no third and fourth floors. I meant juniors and seniors have different hallways on the middle level, but it's really hard to actually figure out the system of your school. So on the first day, if you are super nervous about it, you can go in and ask for like a map at like your office, and the secretaries might be able to give you one, or if you don't have one, they could kind of just maybe draw you a rough sketch. Or even better yet, the best way to really figure out your school is just to go through it and explore and come up with a system that works for your schedule. And by the time second semester comes around, you'll have a pretty good idea of the lay of the land at the schools. Tip number 7. Always remember your ID. Always. If you go to a big school like me, you have IDs that are on, well, mine are on like a lanyard, and then it has like it's just like a little plastic thing like that big. At my school, you have to pay $1 like for a replacement ID. Well, not like a replacement, but for like a temporary, which is like a little sticky note that says your name, which I think is really stupid. I never forgot my ID once freshman year. So if you have an ID, I would recommend it like putting somewhere that you always like need something in the morning before you go to school, so you will always remember it. Like if you're a girl, like in your makeup drawer maybe. Or I had glasses earlier this year instead of contacts, so I always put them by my glasses because I need my glasses to see. So it kind of made sense. Or if you're like a guy, maybe in your underwear drawer. Or just give it to your mom and she will make sure to give it to you in the morning. That always works too. Number 8 is figuring out the best way to get to all of your classes, and also from your classes to your locker if you have a locker or if you use your locker. But I always found that it was trouble for me because my locker was extremely out of the way from all my classes. So you want to kind of find those breaks in your schedule where you can get down to your locker fast enough. For us, passing minutes are 5 minutes, which is what I'm assuming it is for most bigger schools, is about 5 minutes. So generally, you should have enough time to get down to your locker and back up to your next class. So yeah, so kind of just figure out when works best in your schedule for you to switch out your books, because you don't want to be carrying around every single book for every single class the whole day. I did that, and that really sucks. I was a stupid freshman. Stupid freshman. Tip number 9. One word for you guys. Upperclassmen. Everybody always freaks out about upperclassmen, which I don't blame you. Upperclassmen can be kind of terrifying. Always the idea and what you see in the movies always makes upperclassmen seem so much scarier than what they really are. Don't get scared. The upperclassmen are super nice usually. Usually there are some that are not so nice. I wouldn't trust those, and I wouldn't get involved with those. But a lot of them are really nice and really helpful, so don't be afraid to talk to them. And tip number 10. Upperclassmen are nice, but this does not mean date your upperclassmen. Do not date seniors, young freshman girls. Trust me, I made that mistake twice in 1 year. Don't do it. It's what ruined my freshman year. Not even joking. Really, don't date upperclassmen. It's a huge mess, and they're just going to end up using you in the end. Tip number 11. This year, you're going to meet some really unnice people, but you're going to meet some really cool people too. Girls this year, there's going to be a lot of drama. I'm sorry to tell you this, but usually your freshman year and your sophomore year is filled with a lot of drama, and if you don't go through it your freshman year, you're more likely to go through it your sophomore year. Tip number 12, do not give in to peer pressure. I'm telling you right now, say no to drugs, say no to sex, say no to alcohol, say no to cutting, say no to all that stuff. Man, you don't want to get into that. Trust me, that is something you want to stay so far away from. And I know it's going to seem tempting maybe. Do not give in to peer pressure. If somebody wants you to try something that you don't want to do, say no and walk away right away. I don't want any of you guys getting hurt. Tip number 13. This year will be absolutely insane for you, and I hope it's fantastic. I really, really hope it is. And most likely it will be. It may not be. You never know, but you have to enjoy every moment for what it is, because you never will get to redo this year. So enjoy it and love every second and live it up. Don't be afraid to try new things, and don't let anyone keep you down. I can't even express how much it means just to enjoy this year, because you're never gonna get to redo it. And I know I already said that, but it's true. You will never get to redo this, so make sure you make it all that you can, because this is it. So just enjoy your freshman year and have an amazing time. And I'd love to hear about it. So if you ever need help with anything, or you're going through some stuff, bullying or anything at all, and you need help and you don't have anyone to talk to, you can always talk to me if you need to. So just enjoy this year to its fullest, because it's going to be amazing and it's going to be crazy, but you're going to love it. I promise. Good luck.